Ben Jordan has exclusive details and goes in depth about efforts to protect Racine County taxpayers after pressing local leaders for answers.
Kim Mahoney and her husband are the only homeowners left in Area 1 of the Foxconn development zone after declining to sell their property. Kim says the only Foxconn construction they've witnessed since the beginning of the pandemic is this glass globe.
This certainly doesn't look like, the eighth wonder of the world.
Kim says her fears that Foxconn wouldn't live up to the promised $10 billion investment, creating 13,000 jobs, became a reality when Governor Evers and Foxconn renegotiated the state's commitment of up to $2.85 billion in tax subsidies down to $80 million. Now her concern is on the billion-dollar local investment for land and infrastructure by Mount Pleasant and Racine County.
What's to prevent Foxconn from just walking away? At this point, they'd be ahead.
A spokesperson for Mount Pleasant and Racine County said $307 million has already been spent. Under the local agreement, Foxconn is set to start repaying the two entities in 2023, $30 million a year until 2047.
Why would they continue to spend $30 million a year on a $1.4 billion assessment when they don't even plan to spend $700 million? It just doesn't make sense mathematically.
Kim and fellow Mount Pleasant resident Kelly Gallagher want to know how Mount Pleasant and Racine County will protect taxpayers from covering the local investment if Foxconn walks away. So far, both say they haven't gotten any answers.
It's an egregious act of negligence by the local government on a scale I have never seen ever before.
TMJ4 News asked local leaders if they plan to follow the state's lead and renegotiate the local contract now that Foxconn plans to spend just 6% of its original amount, creating just 1,450 jobs. On Monday, Mount Pleasant and Racine County sent a joint statement that reads in part, "At this point, no changes to the local development agreement have been proposed or contemplated. For 2 months, I requested interviews with Mount Pleasant Village President Dave DeGroot to ask about the agreement. I was denied every time. I finally went to his office, which because of the pandemic is his home." Taxpayers who live here are worried they could be on the hook for hundreds of millions of dollars if this falls flat.
No, I'm not interested in being on camera. You have our statements. The taxpayers are protected.
The new state contract shows that's only partially true. If Foxconn doesn't repay the local investment, the state agreed to cover 40% of those costs, leaving Mount Pleasant and Racine County on the hook for the rest. Are you going to make any changes to the local contract now that the state contract has been downsized significantly?
Everything's on the table.
Everything's on the table?
I can't talk to you about it, though.
The next day, Mount Pleasant and Racine County sent me an updated statement, quote, "Village and county leaders and principals at Foxconn have committed in the coming weeks to discuss mutually beneficial efforts to realize the vision in the development agreement and spur development." A Foxconn spokesperson told me on Thursday that they have not agreed to renegotiate. Racine County Supervisor Fabi Maldonado says he's unaware if the county and Mount Pleasant are trying to renegotiate, but he fully supports the move to protect local taxpayers.
I think that's what we need to do. I think we need to press pause and reassess where we're at with their progress, the promises that they said that they would commit.
Reporting in Mount Pleasant, Ben Jordan, TMJ4 News.
And right now, Foxconn is the largest taxpayer in Racine County,